Hello, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to today's cooking show here from the Moley showroom in central London. And today we'll be doing a very famous Italian recipe from Rome. We're going to be doing carbonara, and I'm going to be showing you the whole process as to how the ingredients are loaded, how the utensils are prepared, and so on. So you'll see how the system will work from beginning to the end for the whole recipe. So today we're going to be on Instagram and YouTube. So we're live on air. So if you've got any questions, please do fire them across. But for now, I'm going to start the recipe and show you how the recipe is prepped and placed into position for the cooking process. I'm just going to check quickly now before I start that to see if there's any questions. It's great to see people joining. Thank you very much. So let's just give time for a few more people to join. But in the meantime, we will start preparing the recipe, and I'll show you on our interactive tablet here how this is processed, and you'll see that from the beginning. So let's go straight onto the tablet, and I'll show you via the screen here. So on your screens there, you'll see the image of our tablet, where we have about 50 recipes, well over 50 now. We have about 56, 57 recipes from around the world. And these are different cuisines. They're for Italian, Asian, Chinese, Indian, and lots of different recipes from around the world, from Spain, Vietnam and Thailand as well. And our system offers you access to lots of recipes from lots of famous chefs that you would normally consider or have access to so easily. So you're able to see a recipe anywhere from around the world. You're able to see the amount of ingredients required, and then you can enjoy dishes from around the world. So let's start. So let's go straight to the actual recipe. So here we have all the recipes. We have filtered menu on the right hand side. So if there's any specific requirements, i.e. any sort of like food allergy requirements or dietary requirements, or if you're in some sort of weight management, there's lots of information on the side which you're able to filter, so you can filter menus accordingly. So this is a very useful tool. And on the left you see all recipes. There we go. And carbonara is just further down here. There we go. So carbonara. So here we're going to be having egg yolk, cheese, parmesan, salt, guanciale, which is pork. No salt. So I beg your pardon. And pecorino. Carbonara. There we go. So that's the one we wanted. And we've got pecorino, fresh spaghetti, and water. Now, some of the ingredients I've already prepped just to save a bit of time. So let's go straight in there. Now, on the tablet, you'll also see lots of information for each recipe. So, for example, it tells you what equipment will be required. So, in this particular recipe, the way the carbonara is going to be cooked with the robotic system, we're going to show you how the sauce is going to be made and how the pasta is going to be made in parallel at the same time, exactly the same way a chef would be cooking this particular recipe. So it tells you the equipment required, which is a ladle, a medium pot, a mesh basket to take out, scoop out the fresh spaghetti, and the slotted spatula as well. And also tells you the equipment, and also tells you nutritional facts as well. And you can see there the amount of carbohydrates, fat, protein, sodium, which is your salt content, is in this particular recipe. And we do this for all our recipes. So if you're keeping a keen eye on the kind of food you're eating and keeping an eye on your salt, sugar level, and so on, and carbohydrates, you might be on a weight management or doing some going to the gym quite regularly, so you're measuring your food on a regular basis. This tells you exactly what you're having for each recipe. So let's go straight into the robotic cook. I've also got an integrated scale system, so I'm going to hopefully check and make sure that works for you as well. So each of the ingredients can be weighed, and this is a very intuitive system, so the tablet is a very easy process in terms of preparing the recipe. Now the actual diagram, you'll see the diagram of the whole cooking area with the robotic arm and the containers and the equipment. It's done in a diagram format, so it's easy to follow and very easy to prepare. So you've got the full diagram of the workstation there. So first item is going to be the salt. So that's already in the container, and it gives you a selection of spaces that you can put the salt in. So it gives you a selection of spaces along the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go for the top shelf, the far right, which is the first on the right. So that's in location. I can confirm that's been done. The guanciale, I'm going to show you shortly in terms of the guanciale. So spaghetti fresh. Here we go. That's that one. So that's going to be a location on the left-hand side, confirm location. Fine. And then the egg, the pecorino, cheese, and ground black pepper, top shelf, second from the right. And I'll confirm that in location. Confirm. And the water, that's already in the pan. This water here will be doing the actual fresh spaghetti. So the water's already in the pan, that's already in position, and I'll confirm that it's already there. So going back to the guanciale, which is the pork meat that we're going to be having in this very famous carbonara recipe from Rome in Italy. I'm going to show you now how the scales work in terms of making sure that you have the correct amount of ingredients for all our recipes. So here you see, let me just turn this off for a second. There we go. So guanciale. So you select the container, which is the bottom on the bottom shelf. You can see at the bottom there, you've got your weight indicator. So I'll place my container on there, put it back to 0. And so it's telling us we need 140 grams. You can see at the bottom there, 140G. So 140 grams. So I'm going to put in my ingredient in now, and hopefully it should be close to the 140 mark. 123. 140, there we are, slightly over, but that's okay. So we got our ingredient there, exactly weighed to the requirements of this particular recipe, and I'm now going to put it in position and confirm in location on the bottom shelf. So there you saw, quite simply, you know, the integrated scales, the ease of how it shows you where the ingredients go. It's so simple to follow. So it's a very easy process in terms of the ingredient preparation. So now we just prepare the equipment. So we already have the medium pots in position. So this is the actual main pot where the sauce will be cooked. So that's in position, and I'll confirm that's done. The second pot with the water, I've already confirmed. We've already got the water in there, 1,600 grams of water, which the spaghetti is going to be cooked in via the mesh. And that's already in position. We've got a slotted spatula, which will be doing all the stirring. Again, it gives me points on there. We have these special hooks, which are illuminated with LED lights. And it's located at position number 1. And I can confirm it's already there. That's good. And then we have the ladle, position number 2. I beg your pardon, sorry, position number 2, there we go. Okay, it's actually at the end. Okay, that's in position, that's great. And then the actual mesh basket, that's already in position. And it's actually, you see the diagrammatic view of the actual whole system, which is very important, is to make sure that the utensils are facing the right way, because the stirring and the removal of the spaghetti into the pan is very accurate. The actual movements and the manipulations are right down to the last millimeter. There's not much tolerance there. So it's very important that the utensils are faced the right way. And that's in position, and I can confirm that's done. And that's it. We can literally start the whole process now. So I'm going to start cooking, and let's go for it so we can see how this works. You can probably hear the voice in the background. We have voice notifications, so you can hear the whole recipe being cooked. So if you're in another part of the house or another part of the kitchen where you could be doing some work, at least you can hear what's going on with the recipe and hear the whole cooking process. So I'm just going to have a quick look at some questions. So we've got a question on Instagram, and got a question in from Stephen Hart 137. When do we get to see the larger model? Well, this is potentially the larger model. This is our XL model. Now this is on a peninsular design, so this kitchen can be as large as you require. If you mean a larger version of the robotic arm or the system, currently we only have the single arm system, and currently the actual size is within this sort of area, but we have it on the X-Air, and just behind me on the right you'll see our B-Air module. Now our B-Air is compact, but it's a very long kitchen, so if you've got a long galley kitchen, that's a very good practical solution, including the robotic system. Now we have all the models here on display in our showroom in Wigmore Street, Central London. So we only opened about a year ago. It's our flagship showroom. So if there's any more information you need, you can either go into the contact us page on the website, or you can come and visit us here in the showroom in London. And if you have any design requirements, you can send some information through, and we'll arrange a design meeting with one of the sales team and discuss your project in more detail. We can also do a virtual presentation. If you want to see a demo of the unit in action during a design meeting, we can also do a complimentary demo of the actual system cooking a recipe, so you can really see how it works either in the showroom or we do a virtual presentation. So also on the tablet we have an indicator. It shows you how far down the line or how far the recipe is processed. And at the moment we're on about 15%, so it's quite early on at the moment. And it's now going to be, it's put in the oil, oil's already heating up. You notice that the arm also controls the hob. So not only does it control the hob, it also controls the temperature and controls the timing. So the actual cook of this particular recipe is done exactly the same way as the chef would have cooked it. Also, our hob has an integrated downdraft extractor, so you've got extraction as well, and also activates the extraction at the same time, so reducing smell and so on in the kitchen. Just going to check to see if there's any further questions. So, got a question in from Tony Lewis. Got a couple of questions actually. So basically, what platform app for tablet support? So at the moment it's on Android, but what I can do is our technical team can actually give you some more information as to the app itself and what kind of support it can be obtained. So if you can, send an email to or contact us via the website, and I'll get my technical team to get back to you and answer your question, because I know you're also asking about the wattage consumed based on 220 volts. So just to give you an idea, an hour's use of a recipe, for example, would use 120 watts of energy. So it's the same sort of energy consumption as a normal appliance, like a fridge freezer in the kitchen or a laptop. So the power consumption is very low. It's very, very, very energy efficient.
Spatula.
And if you don't want to get further details as to the consumption in further details, again, just send us a quick email on the contact us page on the website, and I'll get my technical team and one of the engineers to get back to you with some exact data in terms of consumption. So please do get in touch. But thanks for your question, Tony.
Set the hob to 6.
Stephen Hart, yes, the beat air. Okay, thank you. No, you're welcome, Stephen, no problems at all. Question in from Rastina Osodoyeva. I love watching how Moley robot cooks. Thank you very much. Yes, we love watching the robotic system cook as well. Thank you. I remember we've got over almost 60 recipes from around the world. So, you know, you've got access to so many different types of varieties of recipes from, not only are they recipes from around the world, but they're also low calorie, vegan, vegetarian, lots of recipes to do with certain allergies. So the selection of recipes is quite very, very good. Also, we've also focused on healthy recipes, a lot of healthy recipes. We have a specific collection from Spain called the Shah Wellness Cuisine. Now this is cuisine and recipes which are very, very high in nutrients, but extremely low in calories as well. And we have a selection of these recipes consisting of tofu, miso, fresh ingredients, fresh vegetables, and everything that's in there in terms of the health requirements. Let's see if there's any more questions. Let's just jump on to YouTube. Tony Lewis, nice, finally got reply. Not get reply when comment on video, then chat. No, okay, I understand, but hopefully you'll understand from what I explained in terms of the wattage. But if you, like I say, if you've got any further questions, then please do contact us via the website. Thank you.
Good basket of water.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, healthy recipes are really important to us. I mean, there's the core value of a system like this is not only the healthy recipes. I mean, I'll go into detail in a second about the healthy side, but also the financial value as well, because on average in this country, say for example, a family of 4 can easily spend about £43,000 a year on takeouts and delivery food and just food that they generally order from outside or in restaurants. Now, an example of this is spaghetti bolognese. A good portion or a good quality spaghetti bolognese in this country or from a good outlet is around about 15 to 18 pounds. Now, that same recipe cooked at home with the same ingredients actually in reality can only cost you £5. So the cost benefits are high in terms of the return on the investment. To give you an idea, the starting price for a standalone chef's table is around about £50,000. But then, like I say, the return on the investment after a year to 2 years is much more beneficial because you're cooking more food from home and saving money on takeouts and takeaway food. So £50,000 is a chef's table model, which is a standalone, which is almost like this sort of area here, about 1.2 by 1.2 meters. If you want to combine furniture, we also do, we have combined with some of the leading Italian manufacturers, one of them being Minotti, and we combine with them and we produce some really stunning furniture with wood veneer, with high gloss finishing, with lacquered finishes, with servo drive systems on the wall units, drawer mechanisms by servo drive, and also mechanisms by Solis. And we do all the wood veneers, the high gloss wood veneer finishes to the, I don't know if you can just about see, but we do high gloss black metallic, for example. And we do a lot of lacquered finishes. We can actually do a lacquer finish to a raw color as well. So our furniture selection is very good in terms of quality because it comes from our Italian brand. And we've also partnered with the likes of designers from Bonetti, the famous luxury yacht manufacturer. And they've kindly designed one kitchen for us using not marine ply. Marine ply used on their yachts, but we actually use the same plywood material in our kitchen as well. So it's not only a solid kitchen on the door front, but the whole carcass is completely solid. And we do that with our kitchen. Back on the price point, the price level of something like this kitchen here, say this kitchen is about say 65 to 70,000. So that kitchen there, the black gloss, say in the region of 80 to 90,000. Now these kitchens, if you go to any one of these premium high street kitchen showrooms with the same sort of dimensions, same materials like Corian or marble or wood veneered doors and panels, the costs are almost exactly the same. But with our system, not only are you getting the premium luxury kitchen, but you're also getting the robotic system as well. So you're actually getting the whole robotic system the same price as a normal premium kitchen.
Stir sauce.
Now on the health side, I mentioned the health side, and I mean that's very important and a big value to us because not only is it a system that obviously cooks the meals using the fresh ingredients, so saving you time, so it's a time-saving piece of time-saving system, but also the health side, because by cooking like this more frequently, more regularly, we found and looked at a lot of research from the global food research programs, and in particular the one in North Carolina in Chapel Hill, where they look at the difference between families who eat out regularly and people who cook fresh with the same ingredients at home. And they found from their studies that you can actually get 6%, you have a 6% less chance of getting cancer. You have about 48% less chance of getting any kind of diabetes. And also you've got a 60% less chance of getting any kind of kidney diseases. Now this, on average, this could potentially add almost like 10 to 11 years to your lifespan. I mean, that's adding longevity to your life. I mean, it's really good. I mean, if there's a system that can help people live longer, then, you know, we have this solution for you, but it's using fresh ingredients on a regular basis, which makes a huge difference. Also, if you're on some sort of weight management program, with this sort of system, you've got 28% lower risk of being overweight, and your BMI count is 24% lower as well. So your body mass count is a lot lower. Also, it contributes to good metabolic and brain health as well, because you're eating with fresh ingredients, and your blood sugar and your insulin sensitivity, and you've got lower dementia risk as well, and also heart health. So if you've got blood pressure, if you've got any cardiovascular issues or hypertension, this is certainly a great way to negate those sort of issues and make sure you have a healthy lifestyle. Let's see if there's any further questions on these pages. Okay, so we've got a question in from Stubbsen44, how much for one? I don't know if you got that bit earlier about the costing, but a chef's table, a standalone system like this starts from about £50,000 GBP. So if you're in the US, that's roughly about $60,000, $63,000. But send me your details and send me a floor plan of where you would like the system installed, and we will give you a quotation based on that. We are certified for UK, Europe. We are ex-works for the US and the Far East at the moment. So this product is fully certified meets all the safety protocols, all the EN iOS standards, and so it's all, the whole system is ready for the market and approved. Sam, would be nice to have this presentation on landscape, not portrait. Thank you very much for the feedback. So we'll have a go. Maybe next week we'll try a landscape presentation. But for now, because of the space we have in the showroom and the lighting, we've got the cameras and everything positioned in a certain way so we can maximize the quality of this particular feed.
Pour pasta water.
Okay, let's have a look. Any other further questions? Can't see any questions at the moment. So here we're now at 91% through the actual recipe. The ladle of water's just gone in, and we're almost complete. And as you saw, I have not actually done anything at all apart from load the fresh ingredients and making sure all my utensils and everything's in position. There's literally not a single thing that I've had to do apart from just make sure I've got my fresh ingredients. Now, some of these ingredients on some recipes you can actually customize as well. So, for example, we put salt in the water to make the fresh pasta. If you wanted 0 salt in this particular recipe, you can just leave the container empty. It will still cook the whole recipe from start to finish as it should, but you are in full control of the recipe itself. So there's lots of things you can do. There's some recipes that I have a certain base of like a masala, for example, and if you've got certain ingredients in the fridge that are just about to go and finish before the best before day, and you need to really use them, you can actually substitute a lot of the elements. For example, if you're in chickpeas, if you want to use kidney beans, you can in certain dishes like chana masala. If you want to use up carrots instead of the courgettes, if you want to use up the peppers instead of the carrots, you can mix and match some of these ingredients. At the end of the day, we all know what everything tastes like, but you can really customize some of these recipes as well. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to follow, but we would recommend you do, because these are recipes from very well-renowned chefs from around the world. So all these recipes are really good, high-quality, restaurant-quality recipes. Amber Troxell, the fact it couldn't scrape all the sauce out of the thing is causing you anxiety. Well, look, at the end of the day, each to their own, I'd say. But we have all these ingredients have been measured, so just to make sure that the recipe is optimized. And it's also taken into consideration any contents that are left in the containers as well. So the actual end result will be exactly the same. So I wouldn't have to worry about that. Don't get too anxious. All this has been tested and being tested thoroughly by our engineers here in London. Because not only do we have the showroom, but we also have the floor downstairs where our engineers are based, and they're looking at these recipes day in, day out, from the minute detail to the quantity left in the containers. So everything like that is taken into consideration. So please don't worry and don't get too anxious when you eventually buy one of these. Amber Troxell, does it do the dishes too? That's a very popular question. Everybody asks that question, does it do the dishes? No, unfortunately it doesn't do the dishes, but you never know. Hey ho, what the future holds, you never know. We could be producing something for you that does do the dishes. But at the moment, no. Everything's dishwashable. So the actual robotic arm itself can be wiped down with a fiber cloth, for example. So this doesn't require much maintenance, to be honest. The containers, they go in a dishwasher. Utensils go in a dishwasher. The Rafoni induction pots, they go in a dishwasher as well. And everything's wiped down like you would do in a normal kitchen. So there's nothing special required. Everything just goes straight in the dishwasher. Now the arm itself is an easy wipe down surface, but the arm is industrial level. The actual arm has already been tested for 35,000 hours. So in a residential environment, you could run this arm for 10 years and not have to worry about it at all. Even though it does come with a warranty, we do have a service plan, but things like that we can discuss during the design meeting. So we can really show you how we supply the product and how we support the product as well. Right, let's see where any more questions on. Okay, question in from Stephen Hart. If there is a malfunction, how are we to get it repaired and how long will it take? So if there is a malfunction, Stephen, number one, you'll get a notification on your tablet, and it will either pause the process and you can restart. It might be a repositioning or something very minor, which you can do from your site, on site. If there's a repair or some sort of issue, depending where you are, now we partner with lots of local engineers and companies from around the world. The arm itself is already in 90,000 different applications around the world, in laboratories, in different types of industries, in warehouses and so on. It's already used around the world in lots of different applications. So we will also find, and we will find people who can support us on that without any issues at all. It's a universal product. CD Charlie, which is the price? I think you may have missed it, but 50K for a standalone model, 75K with furniture and appliances. The larger model to my right is about 90,000 with integrated appliances and so on. So we have a price bracket from say 50 up to about 100 for a premium level kitchen. So, but again, contact us, send us your floor plan, send us your requirements, and we'll get back to you and discuss your details virtually, or if you can, make it to the showroom, come in person, and we'll discuss your requirements in more detail. Right, let's see if there's any further questions. I think that's about it, really. Got the dishes bit on YouTube, and I did the last question. And Stephen Hart, glad to hear it. Thank you, Stephen. CD Charlie, thanks. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. So I think that calls for the end of our presentation, I think, and today's cooking show. So I hope you enjoyed watching this very famous Italian recipe from Rome, from Carbonara. I'm going to actually do a little taste test because you're probably wondering how this tastes. So I'm going to grab a little bit. I'm just going to give you a quick feedback on what it tastes like, so you know that it's not just for show. It's an actual recipe, so we can eat it. So just give me a second. I'll just grab a little bit. Right, here we go. So I'm going to grab a bit of the macchiale, a bit of the spaghetti. Oh, nice. A bit of the pasta. There we go. That looks great. There we go. So I'm going to quickly show you in my bowl that I've got this complete. So here we go. So beautiful pasta, guanciale, all perfectly cooked and mixed. Lovely. I'm just going to try a little bit now. Lovely. Exactly how I'd expect it in a restaurant. That's absolutely perfect. So that's great. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. And join me in 2 weeks where we'll be showing another recipe. But do get in contact with us via the website if you have any questions. And have a great weekend. Thank you very much.